Hello and welcome to the Hunt, Banish, Extract podcast. We're new here around the block, and we have an immense dedication to this game, and we decided that it would be a great idea to have us give professional opinions. Yes, because we are all 6-star, believe me. We're the best. And now, I'm your host, Drunken Bard, aka DJ. And then, gentlemen.
I'm Tyler, Sleepy. You just call me Sleepy.
Okay, Aaron, aka No Mortal Z. Right, Nick.
Yeah, I was
okay.
Reading
you know what? We got Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
All right, over here.
Okay. Right, Nick. Colin. Read Nick. Whatever. And then I go last, Aaron.
Oh, yeah. I'll go last. Yeah, because you were gonna be like, let's all introduce ourselves, and I was just gonna go last.
Oh, I thought you guys would chime right in. I thought this was just. I thought it was going to come
like
naturally.
we had an order.
Well, who's giving orders around here? I ain't in charge. All right.
I just work here.
Okay. Well,
the silence.
So, we all decided that we wanted to start a podcast. There's absolutely nobody that's even trying to make a Hunt podcast. I mean, I found one other one on Spotify. Guy who records for about 20 minutes or so, and then he's done. Him and his buddy.
I mean, no shade. No shade.
No shade at all. It's just there needs to be a market out here for Hunt Showdown. This game is incredible. There's not enough people who are listening or just viewing this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Twitch community is enormous and great. Every single streamer that I have watched personally, amazing. Incredibly talented. And so we are currently in patch like 1.33 or something like that. The Tide of Shadows with Rotjaw just came out. Well, like a week ago. We're late, okay? We didn't start right on the money, but thoughts?
Rotjaw is awesome.
I'm a huge
Very
fan.
awesome.
And we need more wild cards because we need more creatures out in the open.
There needs to be an incentive of clicking on the wild card option when you're choosing what type of hunts you actually want to go down. I think Rotjaw, of course, the Flames, they're really great introductions into the wild card scene. But I would like to see more variety.
Well, because
more
one of my
monsters,
biggest issues, and one thing that too many people keep complaining about, is how everybody sits in a boss lair, concertina traps every door, right? I mean, I personally don't mind trying to play around it, but I want more open fights, and walls are in the way, period. And I don't want to see them try and implement like exploding walls into this engine. I can only imagine what the hell would happen.
Yeah, it's not Siege. So
yeah, I was gonna say. In addition to this event with Rotjaw, we also got obviously the rain aspect, and that even has changed the gameplay immensely.
Yes,
through and
drastically.
Which
wild card to experience this.
I haven't really played that much either, but speaking of the rain, I thought because of CryEngine, it's not the best engine, but because of CryEngine, I thought it was just going to ruin my PC. And you know what? It works perfectly.
Yeah, their wild cards are
surprisingly.
actually thoroughly optimized. Like Tyler mentioned earlier, when they had the fire event, that actually ran very smoothly, even on an older PC.
Yeah, because you were running an older system at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
I was gonna add on to like Rotjaw. I think is an excellent addition to the game. I kind of wish he had a bigger health pool.
She.
As far, I mean,
damn you!
You got a lot of male bosses,
This is true.
But Rotjaw, she she's got like wonderful gameplay, and I just would love it if you had some interaction more on land that she could essentially hunt you down. But I think what we have is an excellent direction in the right way to improve this game and to add more to the community.
Well, Rotjaw, period, has already drawn so many eyes. They got a brand new cap on how many people have even come to the game.
It's it seems to be growing every different year. And what I obviously like about Rotjaw is we got like a lizard, like basically a reptile, and which is very different than every single one of the bosses or wild targets, as they're calling them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It adds another degree of variety, which in a game like this where there's only 4 bosses before. Like an extra boss is really nice. I'd like to see how they're going to expand on that in the future.
Adding on to that, right, currently with the event, they only have him in, or she in the Char. She's the only one in the wild card, and then it's with the singular boss. But I think it would really implement some cool dynamics with 2 bosses and then that wild target, or maybe 2 wild targets, like more to do on the map to get people from wanting to stay and interact and fight more.
I think it would be cool if there was a boss that would hunt you personally, but
how in the hell would that work?
I don't know, but there would have to be a lot of discussions and testing, obviously. But I think it would be very interesting.
Well, because the way I'm kind of imagining everything is this engine is already full of bugs. I mean, if you even path wrong, the AI will try to find you and it'll spin in circles. So
which
there's not
leads
a lot
to some hilarious gameplay.
Well, right, but God forbid, we don't want the boss breaking, and we don't want it to freaking beeline to an enemy team. That's the thing. What if it tracks an enemy hunter? If it goes by location, sure, but if it goes to the nearest target, but people would use that to their advantage to find other people. That would be terrible.
I guess along those lines, kind of what we got with the wild target, I really want to see some of those bosses in the compounds to be more free roaming outside, not necessarily like full on map roaming, but like
in the entire
compound.
Like,
yes,
an entire
I
compound.
Agree.
That would be like an extra element rather than just hiding in the darkness and stuff like that, which is great for some gameplay. But
anything to get more open, because that's one of the biggest factors to this game that really pisses me off is hiding in the building for 30 minutes. And I think a lot of people agree.
Gosh.
But
yes,
it's a style of gameplay, but nobody likes playing against it. Like, no.
Right. I mean, it is a legitimate strategy. There are factors that would encourage you to play that way too. But at the same time, I guess, and I'm not alone here, I guess it's just not very fun for me.
Well, that's kind of what added a great element with the event is you had that rain that kind of made it so your sound was irrelevant at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you could go crazy and then just like jump in, and then like if you're in the lair, you're kind of confused about where to shoot and where they're coming from half the time with the rain, which is a great, like as we said, a great addition. And if they continually start to implement those sort of things, it's only going to get better from here.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this is a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah. And well, one thing to consider is most of us have been around for about 2 years, so we've had a lot of hunt experience.
2+ years,
but we haven't really we never thought about making this podcast because this is more of a leap of faith for us. This is kind of our start, our beginning, if you will, because this is just sounded like a great idea.
And all of us have had different backgrounds into being exposed to this game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I got my idea from a guy on Reddit because he specifically posted that there isn't any Hunt Showdown podcasts. And
like a major,
Yeah, because this game builds dedication. I mean, this is one of those games where you get hooked. It's niche. Not
Yes.
It's like Tarkov, man. Everybody compares this to Tarkov, and Tarkov has already got its band of bandits who are obsessed with pain. They hate themselves, but you know what? Good for you guys, honestly. But there's been so much back and forth on Hunt, especially when it comes to the events, because this one, it's starting to miss the mark a lot, because a lot of people are complaining that all of the points are hidden in the weeklies. People didn't even know to look there. There's no indication on the main menu. Like, come on, guys. You're taking away all the blood bond earnings, which I can go either way on. That's a bigger discussion.
Yeah,
that's a different discussion. Yeah,
I see why they did it, but yeah. At the same time, yeah.
I want this game to make the amount of money that it needs to thrive, because we need this game to exist. I don't want to play Call of Duty anymore. I don't. And
it gets repetitive.
And kind of adding on to what you were saying with the popularity with this game, like, this is one of those games that I feel like a lot of people, they see some gameplay, they look at it, they see other people playing it, and they're like, wow, that's really interesting, I should play it. But then they just don't play it because there's not really too much incentive to play it, I guess.
It also doesn't have a very beginner-friendly sort of
aspect.
Which is exactly why it's good.
Yeah, because like essentially you have to learn kind of from other people, and which is a very community-oriented thing.
Yes.
It took me forever because like I had to, because I was newer to like PC gaming and whatnot, gaming in general.
Shooters
to like get used to the shooting, and then get used to also like having to deal with like random enemies that just come up to you. Like hives to this day are just annoying.
Yes. They mix it up. That's for sure.
Well,
but once you get it, you get it.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing is, I believe they did a research, and they found that up to 40% of the people who even bought and loaded up the game don't even have a kill. People leave this game quick.
I had so many hours into it before I got it. Like we talked about earlier, I had not a great PC, and that kind of, you need that precision aiming for this game. And so I had kind of a love-hate relationship for this game, but the style of it, I always knew there was some growth. And every time I came back, there was some growth. Each an event, each new map, each new boss, etc.
Let's face it, Steam Summer Sale 2. Some people got suckered in. They saw the game at $15.
It's not a bad deal, you know.
Trust me,
it's not
the people that do that.
Yeah, just with any game in general. But yes.
Yeah, sales are always the way to draw in some crowd. The good thing is it's the continued support to this game, how they're very dedicated to, and it's a creative endeavor for them as well as a marketing.
Yes.
Well, and one thing that I want to stress with this event, if Crytek even hears this, you've got to dial back to kind of like the later Moon events. They had it just nice, like when we were earning that the chick, the old lady. Well, she's not even an old lady. She's like the gardener lady that you earned from the Halloween event. You remember her? What's her name?
Oh, Mama May. She's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, Mama May is incredible, and that whole event felt really good. It didn't feel too grindy. They've taken a step the other freaking direction. Now you've got to play every week, get all the weeklies done. You're never going to retain an audience, a faithful audience, if you keep doing that.
Especially if you're not earning blood bonds, in my opinion. But
yeah, that's
a personal thing for me.
People at least had something.
The one thing I'd say about that event with Mama May is the quests and the challenges. This was, I think, before they had made it so friends could help you with challenges, and it was a pain to get
that's
those.
True.
That was the one condition that made the later events an improvement upon those. But I can completely agree with what you were saying about the like just having something to do during the event and just earning stuff, and it just adds on to your blood bonds, your event points, and things like that.
To be fair, one of the main differences, though, with the Mama May event, like that Halloween event and this current event, is this current event is under a battle pass, whereas the other one they just kind of gave it to those people who were playing.
But they do have events in this game that are non-battle pass, and ones that are, because they kind of switch off between different ones, and then they do the Twitch drops in addition. So
yes, that's very true. Oh, the Twitch drops, though. Speaking of which.
Oh, yeah. God.
They've done Twitch drops in the past. Excellent. What do you guys have to say about the current ones that are coming out?
It's crap. Get rid of it. Why?
I
hate it.
I think they need to stop. I think they need to stop with Twitch drops in general, because their last couple of Twitch drops have just been recycle from previous Twitch drops, and that's honestly more like it feels more like they're just trying to
the
fill
last
a gap
one still had Killbuyer in it, though, so it was a new legendary, which was good.
But most of the other stuff, I think there was two things: it was Killbuyer and maybe one other skin or a.
Didn't they give you like
charm?
random legendaries if you already had those, though, or was that a previous drop?
It just gave you the exact legendary.
Gotcha.
Well, and I understand
the recycling. Annoying.
Well, I understand the recycling, though, because, like we said, how the player base is growing so exponentially high. I mean, who expected a shooter game like this out of the people who made freaking Crisis? Honestly, I never would have even guessed. I didn't even know
that's very
when
niche,
I started playing. Probably because I never played Crisis. I didn't own a PC. I was a freaking console pleb, man. And I certainly didn't buy it for console because I didn't know what the hell it was. And growing up poor, you had to pick your games wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had no idea if Crisis was any good at it.
I think what Aaron, though, is just trying to say is that they make big events from these Twitch drops that they don't have very often, but they're just like redoing the stuff instead of implementing those previous Twitch characters.
They feel forced.
Well, with this current one, I would say that I know they have the charms, but the charms mean nothing. It doesn't fit this game, but they have them, so they exist. We have to deal with it. But I will say that, like, not even a single legendary skin, not even a recycle on this particular Twitch drop. They're focusing on, like, emphasizing this event, basically being like, here's all these event points.
Well,
I shouldn't have to be enticed with event points to watch a Twitch drop.
That aspect I actually like, though. I think
it's nice.
I think earning event points just by watching a video, like while you're at work or something, is nice. But they should include more with it. Yeah.
Oh hell, please don't
give me something besides a charm.
We got it.
I don't use charms. I don't think any of us do.
No, and I can see in the future when they do a chest and you can roll it for 300 blood bonds, you'll get a random charm because charms that they're starting to make that a big front and center, and I don't know.
And that's with every game, and what made this game kind of more interesting is the uniqueness of the weapons and how different they were emphasizing those within this game. Like legendary skin, it's great, but a charm doesn't really emphasize
anything.
Yeah.
At all. And it can be more distracting than anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Give me a legendary gun, even if it's like an old one, because you have all these like battle passes that make it about exclusivity, and let's not make this necessarily a game about exclusivity. I mean, you have your battle pass events, but
tell that to the snobs who have played Doctor and they're so fucking hoity-toity. But granted, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that have it, like me, and
Aaron has it
give a shit. Yeah,
I have played Doctor.
I know.
Listen, it may be my favorite one, but I'm not gonna rub it in your face that I have it. I will argue that was by far the hardest event to grind, though.
Fuck that event.
So see, I can see both sides to this argument. On one side, so this kind of goes into something else. If this game wants to earn money, like real money from its players, all they really need to do is re-release a bunch of skins that are locked under those exclusive events
in a bundle, right?
Or in a bundle, or buy them individually for like an obscene amount of blood bonds, because I certainly would buy a couple things for sure.
You'd buy blood bonds to get those special skins,
right
if they're good enough skin.
So yeah, I think that having that unlocked would be a good thing for that reason. If they're hurting for money, or if they decide later on in the future, this is why we made these certain decisions, because we're not making enough money. But on the other side of that, like you guys were saying, I think it's important for those players who have gone through all of that crazy grind to have something to show for it, because if they don't, then what's the point?
Yeah. Well, and everybody says, slap a price tag on it. We'll buy it.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
They're handing you the information, Crytek. We need you to take it. We need people to listen to the community, because I think they do. I've seen a lot of feedback that they've listened to, and they're very humble when they're talking about their flaws, which there are many, but that's okay.
I mean, like I said before, I said very early on in my playtime, learning the game and learning all sorts of mechanics, that this is going to be a good game, but it's not quite there. We're starting to get into that place where this is a solid game, with multiple aspects. I mean, we just barely got that shooting range, so
it only took 5 years,
but it's solid.
Yes, it's great.
Best. Holy shit, we couldn't have asked for a better thing.
We spent 30 minutes in there just shooting each other and having a blast, reviving and then downing each other.
Practicing. But the time goes by so fast, because like they say, time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Well, and everybody needed real opponents to practice on, and going into
rather than just
bounty
losing
hunt
a hunter
over and over and over. It's too punishing for people, especially when hunt dollars are a factor. If you bother prestiging, well, you better pinch your pennies, because you only start with 4,000, bub, and those things ain't cheap.
Nope.
Yep, you really have to stick it out to really enjoy the game.
Yeah. But
which we have.
Yes, immensely.
Through thick and thin, right?
Yes.
Upper mat, drilling, thoughts, feelings, concerns.
I haven't personally used the upper mat. Drilling solid. Just got Full Metal Jacket kill with it just the other night.
It feels so good just to wield
solid.
That. It feels like you're holding Excalibur or something. It's it's one of my favorite weapons now. And it's a brand new one. So I don't know if they're going to change any
distance. Is what I'd compare the drilling to.
And I don't know if they're going to change any balancing stuff on it. There's a good chance they will, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So
ammo choices for the drilling were the most surprising, because it literally got the holy grail of ammo types. That thing is a monster.
I mean, FMJ on that thing's, like I said, a beast.
Right. The only downside to it is it can't one-shot kill a hunter missing 125, like the small bar.
Which is good. Probably panicking.
Yeah, I can only imagine how many people...
ammo and then find out.
Well, it's the same thing with the Krag, because the Krag does 124, so it'll leave him at just a fraction. Yes, the Krag is so freaking quick.
Great
it's arguably the best long ammo gun in the game if you are a headshot machine.
Of you guys that have tried out the upper mat, what do you guys think?
It's okay. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. So I'm really glad that it takes 2 slots, because the upper mat, in my opinion, is basically an upgrade, unless you don't like the sights on it. Basically an upgrade from the uppercut, which is, obviously people's very favorite gun. Like,
does the medium slot change anything versus a small slot?
Well, so
quite a bit actually.
It does, but I think it's a good thing, because the upper mat if it's long ammo, it has 9 rounds in its barrel, and you
Can't
can
be
shoot.
fan.
You can shoot really fast though. It's almost as fast as the Lamat carbine, which is incredibly quick for long ammo. And so I think having that medium slot kind of helps balance it out. I do think that they're gonna have to change some stuff in terms of balancing, because that thing is a monster. And not to mention you can carry slugs with like a pistol that has 9 rounds. It's just kind of crazy, but I do love it. Having said all that,
well, like an argument that I kind of heard and I agree with is it has to compete with the Mosin Obres, and the because
I didn't even think of that.
the Mosin Obres reloads much quicker, and it's also
and it's got more ammo, I swear.
More range too.
Yeah.
It's got nearly the range of a full Mosin. Plus, you can take, I mean, if you're really feeling like not reloading, you can take the fat magazine one. I forget what it's called. All 15 shots are already there. Don't even need to reload. And then you have nobody really takes the mace version. It's more of a meme, but it's fun.
I like taking
it's just an extra hit.
Yeah. Well, it's just satisfying too, and it's more PvE, yeah. But it's cute. Well, the good thing is it's so niche because of the shotgun. I honestly was surprised.
Yeah.
I have no freaking idea why the hell they keep adding guns that fill multiple roles, but I'm kind of about it. I mean, I'm already about the bomb lance having multiple ammo types.
That was
that was great.
That was my favorite addition to this.
That was great. So that was great.
Yeah, because that was such a niche weapon already, and to take it and to diversify it, what a great idea, honestly.
Yeah. I used to hate it so much. I used to hate melee weapons.
It's so good.
I could not use them, but
it's
now
so satisfying.
After they added the different ammo types, that's when I started using it. I got more use out of it. I got loads and loads of kills with it already, just because of the steel ball alone. And I feel like
that needs a nerf. Come on,
like it does need a nerf, because it could kill you from way farther than it needs to kill you.
Yeah, it's more dangerous than a Romero if you use it right. Honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Have you guys used the hammer at all this event?
Oh,
once.
Actually, no.
Yeah, I got
I haven't tried
it.
It needs to be used. It's fantastic.
It seems kind of slow when I tried to use it, which is
it's like a sledgehammer, because the sledgehammer already feels like crap. You use it for tomahawk if you use it at all.
I don't know, those like sledgehammers. I swear I can hit 10 times as fast as that rail spike.
Well, the thing is, they listened to. This is an example of them listening to the community, and they pulled through, and people were like, "We want a blunt version of the melee weapon." There it is. It's perfect.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
It fulfills the role.
The brand new skin for it is actually one of the best skins in the whole battle pass, too. In my opinion, I like it a lot.
I haven't really looked at it yet.
Yeah, I need to look at it some more.
It's pretty good.
I'll have to check it out.
We need some more time with the hammer.
I might argue on that one. That's a pretty good looking skin.
It is. It's one of the most diverse skins of the gun that it's on, because half the time, man, I'm getting sick of Crytek's throwing a freaking cloth on everything.
Oh my gosh,
it
the
a legendary
cloth
skin.
and the beads, and then it makes it dirty, and
it's not legendary. Man.
Give me
Somebody
something
tore off
great.
the clothes and stuck it on the gun.
They basically did that with the new Rotjaw skin, the slate Rotjaw skin.
Yes,
pretty much.
It's
just a dirtier version.
The legendary, the legendary. Yeah.
By the way, it exists. That's new. Nobody cares. I don't think anybody was like, "Yes, Riposte." Finally.
I don't know. Colin was pretty happy about that, because the slate's his baby. So
he's like that one guy in the SpongeBob episode where he's like cheering in the back. He's like, "Woo, yeah."
I have used the Riposte. It does really well, because it's a shotgun.
So people.
Yeah.
And if it's got slugs, I guess that it would basically be a worse martini. Well, it's like a close range martini.
It's a rushdown weapon.
It's great for really, really aggressive close play.
Yeah. So and that's your play style. And so
Yeah.
for you and other players who play like you, I think that's a good addition. Personally,
Yeah.
the more variety we have, I think is better. So
Just don't
carry on,
hide in the
gentlemen.
corner. So,
Oh man.
so the slate riposte, that sounds like it's kind of a nice addition, but it kind of gets overshadowed by the drilling, the upper mat, and even the hammer
absolutely.
because of them being so different.
But
let's not forget about the chug beetle.
Oh,
Sorry about
that.
he's
That's
awesome.
a cutie.
Yeah, he's so adorable. I want a real one.
And
But
Faces
and
long,
the
it's
addition
just like
of the mobile med kit and the mobile toolbox.
oh,
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
yeah,
The mobile toolkit is a
hate it.
lifesaver.
I hate it.
It's
I think it's a
You
really
hate-
bad idea.
The extra. Well,
Really?
no,
Yeah.
I'm actually in Aaron's camp here. I think that
Okay.
extending gunfights is actually causing a lot of problems.
Well,
the
it's
staller,
actually the other
stalling.
reason why he brought it up. So originally, DJ put this in my head because you got to think about it. You can use this to continuously bring back traps, and the number one thing that everyone's hating
that's
right now
extraction camp.
is both extraction camping and bounty
Boss
camping, where they just sit there the whole time.
Yeah,
By the
and
way,
that's
if you-
exactly what we were talking about with Rotjaw, like being out in the open. You're not necessarily as able to camp.
By the way, if you extraction camp, go to hell.
Honestly, there's 2 keys on your keyboard, Alt and F4. Push them.
See what happens. See what happens. I dare you.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in. Sorry.
I literally
mean,
think I don't
it's
even think
some of the
extraction
worst people
campers.
sometimes.
I don't even think they like themselves. If I'm being honest.
So,
Oh man.
what I was gonna say, I think I was talking to DJ about this, but the best way to kind of go anti the extraction camp, especially with like traps extraction, is you have some sort of a radius around the extraction where you can't place traps. It's like, why would you place a trap in front of a horse that's trying to run away? Like,
Yeah,
when you're trying to
like
get
it-
away, you literally are trapping yourself. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah, and yes, it is a legitimate strategy. But I
To
think
stop
it's
someone at extraction, but you can wait
It's-
outside extraction or be on extraction.
yeah.
Well,
I
so-
think there's just I think it just encourages people to get cheap kills without any skill. So
Yeah.
and this game
not
is about
necessarily
skill.
lack of skill, more of like you're not playing the whole game. You're just waiting
would-
till the very end to steal it and then be done. And
It's-
that
Yeah.
what's so fun about that?
It's its own
Getting a
kind of
win.
it's its own kind of form of skill in a way. It's taking
Mhm.
advantage of idiots. And I'm one of
that's
those
true.
idiots, and I don't like you because I keep dying to them. Stop it.
Maybe
I'm one
not
of 'em. Please
idiots,
stop.
but
It
basically
hurts
be
my
like
feelings.
being unexpected type of thing. Basically being like, I'm gonna catch you before you can leave type of thing. But it's just playing. You're not playing the game, and that's what I don't like about the play
I mean, you're playing the
style.
game, but then you're alt tabbing and scrolling through. We don't want to know. Let's be honest. Yeah, if it's Reddit, yeah. Who goes on Reddit? Definitely not me.
Well, and one
Definitely
thing
knows.
that
Follow
we
us at
always
Unbanished
do,
Extract.
what we always do is when we know that people are like going to the exit and we've gotten tons of kills a match, we fought hard for both bounties, we're tired, we
Mhm.
need to get out, and then there's just that one team that just
Just
sits
waiting
there,
right there.
like, yeah, you're gonna come to this extraction because it's the closest to you.
You
We
remember when
haven't
we
done
like
anything. We run the opposite direction. We go to a different extraction because we want you guys to waste all of your time and get nothing out of it. Because if you're just sitting there doing nothing, you're not playing the game.
well,
And
what's
I love
really
punishing
funny
that.
Exactly. What's really funny is you and I had an experience where we came to that extraction, and then they were like, oh, thinking they were all cheeky. We ran all the way around to the north and
Yeah.
extracted at the northmost one.
Yep.
And we made it out.
We made it out. And it's not that we're cowards, it's that we're playing smarter, not harder.
we were anti what they were trying to do.
Right, and that's another big thing for me. That like every time that happens, I always go for the option. Nope, let's go the other way because I want to screw these guys over. Like
I'll throw dirt in your eyes. I don't care how I win.
You get out, that's a win. So even though they're extraction camping, if they get you, then they get you no matter what.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Can we start calling it the camping now?
Yes,
camping.
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm down.
Especially with all the addition of the new players, man, it really is. It's turning into the camping, especially with the crouch walking combined.
Oh my gosh, but
the crouch walking.
That's
I can tolerate.
Can
that,
understand. Though. Yeah.
It's just when they combine the two.
Yeah.
It can be pretty toxic.
It's like slow play without actually doing anything. It's like you're not even moving anywhere with purpose. What are you doing? They can hear you. They can see you. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
I think a lot of times the reason that you see that
if you're listening, watch
I'm
out.
Not. But
you're a crouch walker?
No, I'm saying I'm not sorry, but but no, oh shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. Continue, gentlemen.
Okay, well,
you were gonna say you like crouch walkers, and
no,
you'll see them on the other side.
No, I absolutely hate them. Absolutely.
They want you to join them.
Oh, what I was gonna say with that actually is, I think the reason that it's been happening so much lately, is because this game has drawn in a lot of new players. And like we've mentioned before,
cautious, right?
Yes, I think because this game is so intimidating, they probably ran in, Call of Duty style, and just got gunned down multiple times. They're like, you know what, I need to switch my strategy up.
I can't do this in this game.
Yeah, so I think that's a big reason why it's been happening so much lately. So having said that, if it's because of new players and stuff, then and they're just trying to learn the game, I guess I can understand. So.
But it's not new players that are doing it.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's both. But I think you do have a point there, Colin. I think a lot of it is also people with new accounts who've made a Steam account, rebought the game, and I need to pad up my KD. I need to make sure that it looks good. It's just I don't understand.
This is kind of suffering the fate of every inevitable popular game is the meta slaves, man. They start crawling in from every freaking angle. Everybody cares about their MMR. All of a sudden, in a game with no ranked, come on, guys.
Yeah, unless you're a professional player, 6-star, you probably should just be competitive in a fun way.
Unless you're these Twitch streamers who are literally meme loading and killing the whole lobby,
hilarious.
Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Those guys are gods, by the way.
Freaking Nino, stop it. Every freaking person has to compare to you because all you do is wipe the entire lobby and you start with nothing, not even a med kit. You're making us all feel self-conscious. Yes.
Dude,
it's amazing.
Is unreasonably good at the game.
Yes. Probably one of the best players.
He really is. Shout out to Nino. Honestly, God. That
honestly.
Guy, you're a legend, brother.
Yes.
But I have a random idea because everybody comes up with really, really weird ideas for Hunt Showdown. Tripwire, choke bomb. And let me elaborate because I want to throw this into the wild because maybe it will never be invented. But
I love it.
Well, let me put it out there because a lot of people would argue just throw a choke bomb at the entrance. It's the same thing. Wrong. It's not a trap. It's not set up to, surprise. Because most people will take antidote shots. They'll just survive the concertina. They'll escape. The bleeding can be put out pretty quickly. And so the coughing, though, that stuff lasts. And not only that, the aim punch you suffer from the choke bomb tripwire. I mean, yeah, you can't exactly use it in the way that most people would, which would be with, stopping their burning teammates. But, man, those choke beetles people are not using them offensively, and it's the same thing. Choke is good offensively. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I-
If you don't have any throwables, throw in
Yeah.
a choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it puts out dynamite, you know?
Mhm.
Like, if people are afraid of, like, a guy cooking a freaking dynamite, you know, throw a choke bomb. And if he's got
Right,
another
the window.
frag, it's going to go out. And tripwire. And, you know, we only got 2.
Yeah.
There's, you know?
We're down for another.
Yeah. Oh, no, we do have 3. Alert trip mines. Whoops. Sorry. 1 extra. Make it 4. Let's make it even.
Wait. So there's alert, there's concertina, and poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just
make
for
it
those
4.
who don't know.
Oh, come on. That's just
Yeah, I'm down.
I
that
feel
sounds
like-
like an excellent idea. It makes sense, like logically and gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, but I feel like with this choke beetle, I feel like people are just kind of throwing it under the rug a little too early.
Sleeping on it. Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
it's
enough
just-
people utilize, right?
Yeah.
The
Well, not
problem
enough
nice
with
when
people
you hear
utilize
where they are.
beetles to begin with anymore. Like they used it for the event that it came out with,
because they
and
were
then
forced
just-
to.
Mhm.
for the most
I
part.
like
Yeah.
the damage increase on the original.
Yeah,
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 that
and
was
I like
nice.
that a lot.
Mhm.
But it's just I feel like people don't use beetles enough because I feel like beetles were an interesting way to spice up the game. But
Mhm.
you know, what is it? Almost a year now since they've been added, and you see them
Occasionally.
maybe once every 5 or 6 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
and speaking of which, stop adding challenges that involve the beetle because nobody will do them. Just saying.
Well, very
I
hard.
feel like they're easier than ever to do now, though.
It's true.
Yeah, because it's
At
only
least to me.
25
damage buff
damage.
and things like
It's
that.
not
Yeah,
the Billy
so-
Story event. Holy moly.
my
That was
God.
a
Oh my
nightmare.
God.
I just
I'm sure
there's
barely
a-
finished that one.
I'm
Let's
so
My
make
glad.
people
God.
get kills with the beetle, like
What the hell is
more
even
than
that?
once
Like,
too, and not even in tier. What was it, tier 5 or 6? Like it. That
Yeah.
was ridiculous, dude.
It was before the buff too, when they did 5 damage on explosion.
Yup.
yeah.
We're pathetic.
Oh man. Anyways, that's just a whole another thing. But sorry, I didn't
No.
mean to interrupt you or interject, Richard.
Oh no. Like love to hear all the ideas from all you guys.
And, you know, honestly, I'm all about the Beatles. I think that even implementing a fire beetle would be cool too. Okay, let's not get too much on
That'd be scary.
ideas. But
He's gonna
then
have
burn bodies
spikes.
from a distance.
We just got the hand crossbow with fire. I don't
That's
think we need
true.
to add any more fire right now because that
And
already shoots.
The Dragon Ball
Wicked fast.
crossbow. I love
Well,
Yeah,
it.
Wait.
And
it
you
shoots
can
wicked fast.
and you
Yeah.
can light bodies on fire.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it's
I
good
just-
for pressure.
I mean, I love Dragon's Breath as it is. It's the ultimate meme. It's the ultimate just in general. Add that on a crossbow. I'm not good with the crossbow, but I love that on the crossbow.
It single-handedly made the hand crossbow viable. It
Yes.
was never meta. Now it is.
Mhm.
It
Now,
was only
I-
good against mobs, but now it's good against
Mhm.
people too.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised though, because there's a lot of people using them and really taking advantage of how much damage it actually does, because it does
It's
more than
reasonable,
enough
yeah.
damage to kill.
Yeah, and it
But
bleeds
You just have
too.
to
so.
hit in the chest.
Yeah.
But too
Yeah.
many people will substitute for a guaranteed kill, like the full crossbow, or
Right.
you know, like even a Lamat, you know, because the potential of the shotgun killing isn't necessarily 100%, but they still have a pistol attached to it. So
Mhm.
it was always
More
put
bullets.
in last place, and it deserves this buff. I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I 150% agree.
It was necessary. And, you know, is there any mobs that we have any kind of idea? Because I
Like
feel
the
like a
new
lot of the
ones?
a lot of natural enemies, just the ones you encounter in the bayou. I feel like it's a good balance. It feels like somebody kept suggesting, something aerial, like a bat or something, which I think sounds like a nightmare. Please don't do that.
Oh, they'd
point
be
of the
so
mobs-
cute though.
Nah, the point of the mobs is to be a nuisance while you're fighting other people.
Right,
So,
not
I
literal
feel like
pain.
what they have
And-
right now is a good balance. If they
Mhm.
added one
Yeah.
that would like they added one more that would show up a little less occasionally than, say a hive does.
Well,
Hives are really everywhere.
Somebody mentioned different types of water devils.
Which I agree with, but water devils in themselves, unless you're a new player and you literally ran into the water, they don't do anything, and it more or less serves as a noise trap, kind of like a horse.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and don't get yourself caught as well.
Right.
But I'm thinking that, kind of like the med grunts. They weren't really a huge addition, but they poison you, and it drops a med kit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I just feel like there's something that could fit in there, and a lot of people have ideas, but they're all
maybe
shitty.
like a small ammo box or something on one or whatever. I don't know.
Like a grunt. I like the idea that the pistol grunt drops its pistol. That would be clutch in a fight where you're out of ammo.
Oh yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. Now that I think about it.
Pistol. Well, then they would have to rework them though, because whenever they smack you, the gun breaks.
Necessarily, because if you fail to kill them first, then
Well, that would also mean you would only get one bullet out of it, though, which would be actually that would be a really good idea.
I mean, go pick it up at there, and then you've got a new gun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, kind of mixed bag, honestly, but it keeps things interesting. It's ideas like that, like the Beetle, where it kind of threw a new element into the game, but it didn't detract from the actual gunfights. That's kind of what we need.
Yeah.
So to me, I would say not necessarily like a new zombie-esque. We need something along the lines of the armored hive. What's the big guy called again?
The meatheads.
Meatheads. So I think if we want to add something, and immolators as well, it needs to be something more unique like those, rather than a different type of grunt.
Yeah, but
it would add some more spice.
A poison freaking immolator? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when you're comparing it that way, though, like it's kind of comparing it like what they were saying earlier. Is it going to be a big change or just kind of spice things up a little bit, though?
And that's what I'm saying. Just like a new monster of sorts that's not like a typical grunt with the pistol grunt and what was the one that came along with the pistol grunt?
It was the lantern grunt and
the lantern grunt as well.
Was it only? It was only the lantern grunt. That's right. Because the cleaver grunts already existed.
So I think those were they were good additions, but they didn't change too much. Even like the gun one, it makes the gun go off, and it's half the time, at least in the lower MMRs, nobody pays attention anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Not really. And that's actually one of the most disparaging things in Hunt. That is, especially when I'm overlooking the subreddit, is the amount of people that MMR shame, man. And not only that, the amount of people that say you can't have fun at 5-star MMRs and stuff. It's becoming such a big,
it's polarizing.
Point, and it really is. It's the most polarizing thing in the whole community. You either are, terrible at the game, you suck, and these guns are only viable to you because you're in 4 MMR, or you're a guy that only rocks a Dulce and a Mosin. That's just not realistic. And too many of the silent minority people who enjoy, gameplay throughout those MMRs are just not really. They don't care. They don't want to argue online. And I agree with you guys. But we're online right now and we're arguing because I'm sick of the amount of people that talk about 5 stars like you compete with the 6. I don't even want to hear it, guys. All of you guys are 5 to 6, 7. Shut up. Shut up. You suck. So do I. That's why I'm stuck there with you.
I'm with you.
And here I am, always in 4 and 3. So
I mean, that's what I said earlier.
That's
just
okay.
Unless you're the top of the top, just have fun. Compete with what you're competing with, but have fun. Get your experience, get your kills. Just have fun.
Please. One of the biggest pieces of advice I could possibly give anybody who's new to this game.
Don't
run
give
out
advice.
there. Sure. great advice. Just run out there and die, man. Honestly, you're not.
Yeah.
You're
gonna die
not
anyway,
gonna get
so
better
might as well
if you
accept
don't
it.
try. Because if you sit there and wonder, if I would have done this, if I would have done, just do it, man. Just play different every time. Run out there,
Play
take a
louder.
risk.
Experiment.
Yeah.
Play
Experiment.
louder.
Loud.
Honestly,
Right
I
from the
hate
guy
you,
that
Aaron, but
is-
yes, that is good advice.
Go
Coming from somebody
quiet
that
later
is-
on.
Coming from somebody that is relatively new to this game, like you guys have been playing for years, I've only been playing for the last couple months. Yeah, definitely like change up your style every single time
Go
you
loud
play.
and proud.
Loud, yeah, loud.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely gotten better every single time I've played, just
Uh-huh.
because I've tried different things every single time.
Learn
Yep.
from your mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and make the mistakes, man.
And
Because isn't that the
sometimes you're
fastest
just gonna
way?
lose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just lose.
You're gonna lose
yeah.
a lot.
yeah. It's just a game.
So lose in style. Run 2-hand crossbows. It's one of my favorites.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Dragon's breath.
There you go. Just run all fire arrows on those things. You'll have a great time. The
fire.
whole bayou
mean-
will burn.
You will have a
Earlier-
good time.
Earlier tonight when I was playing with Aaron, I was doing bomb lance and hunter's bow with double frag arrows. So
He was getting a lot of tags too.
absolute
Hell
menace.
You're just being a nuisance. That's funny.
Yeah.
Reenacting World War II trench style, man. Just explosions everywhere.
Yes.
Don't worry. They'll ban those types of weapons later on. So it's
Oh
okay.
man.
Honestly, that was one of my biggest head scratching thinking things. Can they add too many guns to this game? Is it going to make things not viable? Because let's be honest, you only use the regular Nagant to get to the Nagant silenced, and then that gun is pretty much, it doesn't exist to most hunters.
Yeah. For
Ever.
the rest of your prestige, yeah.
Which is sad because they just got a skin too in this battle pass.
Yeah.
It's a good looking one.
It's a
I
good
know
looking
I know
Yeah,
it's one of
it
those
really is.
dirty kind of looking ones, but we don't really have one of those for
It's not a
pistols, so
fucking
it
cloth.
works. Yeah, with
Well, it's-
beads.
For
yeah,
once.
it's still
It's got
better.
engravings on it. It's really
Yeah.
cool looking.
Still better than a lot of the skins that we've been getting lately. Because a lot of them are really just cloths. Fucking
Right.
Yeah.
But
We dipped it in somebody's butt juice. It's
that's
Really
Kane,
not.
dude.
Oh, it's Cane's juice. Gotcha.
Yeah, Kane
The
juice.
way his
His
face
toe
is
jam.
looking.
Ew.
like even that
juice.
new Spark silencer. That skin actually looks really good compared to a lot of the others.
Oh, looks great. Oh,
Oh,
the new
facts,
pistol
dude.
skins that they've had though for this, like, some of the
Oh, the
best
new
skins we've
army?
gotten.
But
The new army,
Whew.
the Schofield, the Swift Schofield, the chain pistol, fantastic. Every single
Even
one
the
of those
upper
pistol
mat has
skins.
gotten one. Like
Oh,
it
yeah,
got
and it
its
looks
own
great.
first run on it.
Yeah,
but
reminds
that's
me of
one
Lord's
thing.
Prayer.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one thing I'm worried about though is the skins. Are they using that to keep the gun alive? Because like I was kind of saying is the more they add like the drilling, it's basically a weak nitro without the scope that everybody freaking hates.
Half the cost.
Half the
Yeah.
cost. And it's immediate. I mean, nobody even uses the Springfield half the time unless they're taking the compact for some, extra range, but
Yeah.
extra damage as well. So I don't know, because I could tell that's one thing that they're really trying to keep the balance on is just how many guns they can add before it inevitably breaks everything. Because I kind of call it like the League of Legends problem, because they add so many champions that you have to memorize the sound of the gun. You have to memorize how far it can headshot you from, what's its bullet velocity, what bullet types does it have. That's going to get exhausting.
I feel like if they are gonna keep adding new guns, they need to start retiring guns at the same time. Like they're progressing through a timeline of weapon advancement.
That would not bode well in the community.
I'm not.
I
I don't
see.
disagree, but
I
Other
see what you're
games
saying.
Do that, they retire them, and people just get kind of uptight about it. And this type of game, what kind of adds to the dynamic of the variety, I would say, is the variety in the games. Now,
Well,
they might need to slow down with creating new guns, but they got to
Yeah,
keep
that's
it
true.
fresh, though.
see, with that though, what DJ was saying earlier, I personally, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem, and this is why. Because of what DJ said earlier, when you with the Nagant pistol, the one you start with, you throw that one out of the trash into the trash when you get the silence version. People only use a certain type of guns, and so they're even if new things are added into the meta will basically be
change.
Yeah, the meta will still be like, these are the guns you have to worry about. These are the guns you're going to come in contact with. Like, we always are going to come into contact with Mosins. We're always going to be coming into contact with
Optimats.
Right, yeah. That's just it's the meta. And unless there is like some crazy gun like the Optimat that's added in, I don't think we really are going to have a problem.
I think that's enough. We'll stick to that as the crazy one.
I freaking hate that thing. Not because I hate people using it on me. I just can't use it.
Yeah, I can't use it either.
Even
so god-awful with it.
I can't hit anybody unless I'm touching them.
They also increase the what is it?
Kickback. Recoil?
The recoil.
Yeah, the recoil.
The recoil.
They also nerf the ammo a little bit.
There's also that issue with people downloading third-party programs that basically disable the kick. I'm not sure how many people are realistically doing that, but people will always post a video clip of somebody. Yeah, basically. And there's already the issue with people using like a saturation one, so night maps basically don't exist and flashes don't work correctly. And the amount of flash hate recently is actually absurd. Maybe it's just resurfacing.
I think there's just a resurgence.
I haven't been flashed in this game in a while, actually. I'm kind of happy that I don't get flashed as much.
Yeah, I don't use it because every time I use it, I flash myself.
And that's I can't see. People always say that, like, I can't use it, or I'll flash myself instead. And I get that.
Funny
but
it's a skill thing,
dynamite,
though.
And you put it too long, and you kill yourself.
Well, the issue is always with people in high elo. You're always going to hear their voices the loudest because it's the same thing as the people who play like competitive Siege, or the people that really aim for like that higher upper competition. Is those people are always the ones where they're going to get, I would say, first bite at every kind of patch that we have.
Yeah.
Which are decidedly so, because they play the most. I think they kind of deserve it. But the one thing that is kind of interesting that I guess I never really considered, because I mean, flashes, you run into them a decent amount, but there is no real counterplay. But at the same time, I mean, there kind of is. It's not a fun one, but range. If you have a ranged fight, and a lot of people will complain about bush Wookiees in that regard, but you can't have it every way. I mean, I see flashes as more of a way to counter shotguns, which at the same time a shotgun user could just use it. So then you're just screwed. Flashes are one of those things where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Just if you can't beat them, join them, man. It's like hive bombs. You know the amount of people I see panic over a couple of freaking bees, dude? Like that's one of the most avoidable deaths in this game, and so many people panic, man. They hear a hive and they freaking run for the hills. Like, use it to your advantage.
More of like, where is that mother? I'm gonna kill you.
But honestly, I just get the amount. It's never gonna go away, but the amount of complaining.
Yeah, I mean, any game you're gonna have some complaints or something.
Did I hit my mic too hard?
Yeah, I don't know. It just.
I just hit my desk.
But honestly, and then you fucking die.
Honestly, just kidding. Okay.
You know.
Why is the upper mat so freaking controversial, man?
I don't know. Was it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It absolutely
I don't know. It's
why?
It's a big gun. The fact that we still have, like I said, things like the Optima, is there really something to complain about?
I mean, I will agree with one thing. Its name sucks. Stealing it from the uppercut was a terrible idea.
What was funny is when people were revealed by the bug, like the new choke beetle. They called it the upper bug.
Honestly,
That's
they shouldn't have left it at combining the two. Lamat Mark II upper mat. That's the full name. If you're gonna call it the upper mat, call it the upper mat at that point. Or the upper mat Mark II. There's no reason to leave the whole Lamat Mark II in front of that. Which I get it, but it
wants
just
to be
doesn't make sense.
Because
it
it doesn't need to
superhero.
be the Mark II because it's a new gun anyways.
Yeah, call it the Mark III.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why not? At this rate.
Actually, yeah, it probably should have just been called the Mark III.
Yeah, that's actually
Kind of
perfect.
separated a lot of
names are always gonna be like people like it or they don't.
Yeah, you're
does the gun shoot good? Does it kill people? Can I kill myself with it? No.
Well, actually, thinking about it too,
and other things.
Thinking about it too, they're probably just gonna add it to the Lamat family, so that's probably why they did that.
Yeah,
It'll be like that.
Family.
More than likely. And it should, because you should have to earn that thing.
Yeah,
Unless you're
I
those
agree.
people that don't prestige at all, which, I mean, I guess, but why? That's so boring.
I mean, you unlock the uppercut through the Caldwell conversion, right?
Yes, yeah.
So
and it takes a
it's the
while.
same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
It takes a long time.
the
It's the
conversion
last.
Takes a while,
Yeah.
The conversion's
As it
so
should.
clean, though. And
Really
where's the
awesome.
Lamat?
Well,
It even had a crosshair issue for
I guess-
a while where it was slightly left of where it was actually supposed to be aiming. It wasn't even centered, and it only took a bunch of graphics snobs to find it. Like, a lot of people
Someone
probably
figured
don't
it
even know that. It wasn't even centered right. The Lamat for the longest time didn't even have its iron sights correct. And I believe the Springfield Compact had the same issue. I think the Veterally had that issue.
I still have that issue with the Veterally, but that's a skill issue, so don't worry
Well,
about
it's
that.
those iron sights are freaking ugly for a great gun, man. It is
It is pretty ugly, but that's probably one of my favorite rifles in the game.
Speaking of like all the different great guns and stuff, what are you guys' favorites throughout the game?
So, the uppercut's the best gun in the game. You can fight me.
I will fight you.
It's
I'll
literally
get you
perfect.
Gallery.
It's a one-slot rifle, dude.
It's a pocket
one-slot rifle.
rifle. Like, come on, you can take two of them and rock the
But
whole
if your
lobby with fanning.
aim sucks for dick, then how are you gonna use it?
Yeah, but then you can't use anything, so
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm telling you, Dragon's Breath. That's where it's at.
Act like the annoyed one.
Spread
everyone.
spread. Burn everyone. Burn the witch.
Well, then wouldn't the
Hell
upper
yeah.
mat be the best one technically then?
Hell yeah.
With
Which
Dragon's
one?
Breath. The upper mat.
The
As
upper
soon as
mat
it
with
gets Dragon's Breath. Actually, does it have Dragon's Breath? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
It has slugs.
I
It's
think
pretty
it's got
brutal.
slugs. It's
Yeah,
got
it's got
flechette.
slugs.
I think it has
gosh.
Dragon's Breath.
It does not have slugs and flechette. That's for the drilling.
No.
the upper mat.
The
The
drill.
upper
upper
mat,
mat
yeah.
has slugs. You're wrong.
It definitively has slugs because I used it against somebody and I killed
Yeah.
them.
Oh, then
I
it
know-
is gonna be in the family. So that means
Yeah.
it does have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever the regular one has. So
Yeah, that means that it does have Dragon's Breath. So that
Okay,
there
so-
it is. The upper mat's the definitive best gun in the game.
So I've
But
heard
once again-
DJ the uppercut, but I've heard no contest over here.
No, it's
I-
the best gun. You can't
I
see
Best
can't
that.
argue
gun?
that.
Does everyone just love it? And that's the only thing we want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, no, it like objectively, yes.
Right? I
for-
said
for these
favorites,
reasons.
not the
Yeah,
best.
but objectively, it is like probably the best.
Well, objectively, the
It's a solid.
Nitro is king, man. If you got Nitro
Objectively,
Shredder, you can
just,
shoot from freaking brick walls. Do people
Yeah,
even
that's
know
pretty-
that?
That's
Not
pretty.
enough people are educated.
tier.
Man.
It goes through thick trees,
Somebody
little
even did
trees.
a whole
um,
breakdown on exactly
Brick-
what ammo can go through what. I should repost that. I should get that guy's
Post it.
video.
It's a great
Yeah,
I
video.
will. I will.
and we can
because
talk
that
about it
guy-
next time.
He needs more recognition. That guy did work, man. Fantastic job. I need to find out the
Yeah,
YouTuber's
pull
name.
him up at least so we can at least shout him out.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely, because you got carry the conversation. Guns.
So my favorite gun, and I know that some people don't like this gun and some people really like this gun, is the exactly the Officer Brawler. It's good against mobs, and I like using it against people because it's just fast shooting. 2 hits, I kill them. It's nice.
Interesting.
Fair.
The
It is-
Nagat family and me have a very rocky
Relationship.
past.
Oh.
Yeah.
Real quick here. I need to shout him out. Corn F. What a name, by the way. Shout out to you, man. You
Isn't it
put your
Corn
heart
F?
and soul into that video, and it's
Hell yeah.
it's priceless. Thank
Everybody
you.
watch that video
Chef's
because
kiss.
it's good learning, and a lot of work was put into it. So.
Yeah, bravo,
Especially
bravo.
where he gets the amount of wood panels it can penetrate through. Who the heck can even find that out? That's crazy.
I think you said something about like a corner of a brick at one point. Something like that.
Well,
Corner of a brick.
Exactly.
That's some real testing right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
honestly,
This thick of tree, this big of tree.
I will say though, never
5
underestimate
people, 2 people.
all of the compact ammo guns. Too many people look at a Winfield and they don't even feel threatened, man. You should. That thing is so fast.
That thing is a headshot monster.
It is, and in the right hands, you're gone, dude. It doesn't matter if you have a freaking Mosin, you're done.
Yep.
The entire Winnie family to this day probably still has my highest kill count.
Yeah,
for a good reason.
Any of the guns.
Yeah, and the compact ammo it's got the biggest ammo buff, technically. So where they had to nerf all the ammo pools.
Now.
Yeah, so not only is it invaluable to have because it does well from short to medium ranges, which is most gunfights. Take that into consideration. Not all of you are snipers. I certainly am not.
No, I 100% am not.
I don't like it.
I'm getting better, but I'm not.
I don't think a lot of people realize that in this game, 100 meters is a minimum of a compound way. Minimum.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
Yeah.
100. Yeah. You're not getting into long range fights unless you're fighting from Blanchett all the way down to the very, very bottom of the map. It's just
you're flexing at that point.
Right. Unless you need a hit scan weapon, which you don't, you should be learning about bullet leading. It will help you.
Yeah.
Because that is
immensely.
Precision is key.
Unless you want to play variety at any point. If you don't, I guess fine, but there's too many good guns getting added to this game. You're gonna need to learn where to aim. And if you take a Winnie with 400 meters per second, you're gonna get good with every single gun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Freaking priceless.
So, with your, I know you were saying the uppercut earlier, DJ. I know that's not your actual favorite. Yours is the PAX. You're a PAX lover.
Well, because I don't want to pay 400 frickin', especially after that huge nerf to the uppercut, where you got to pay 400, basically the price of a Mosin for a hand pocket gun. You should.
Yeah. You should.
Too good.
It was way too cheap.
But yes, like PAX it's basically a value uppercut. It's fantastic.
PAX Claw is absolutely king in my opinion.
It's good.
Pretty solid.
I just don't like that extra swing.
What's your favorite gun you got going out here?
Well, the slate.
The slate.
It fits. Yeah, it's just from my experience of using the shotguns, it's the fastest one, and it's the best for my playstyle, which is up close and aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
No, I've seen you wipe entire lobbies with that thing.
Yeah, you have.
There's a lobby. Gotta get rid of it.
Yep.
How about you, Aaron?
Dude, mine's jumped so much. At first, it was the Vetterli, then the Romero.
Okay.
Then it was a Spectre, and that's what I stuck with for a while. Then I went back to the Slate. but the Spectre I always come back to.
Always come back to the
Specifically the
Spectre.
Spectre Compact. I fucking
Gotcha.
love the Spectre Compact.
Yeah, you don't see the compact very too often.
Yeah,
see it
I think it's
enough,
kind of a meme,
honestly.
and then you started using it as a meme, and
Yeah,
you're like,
a meme.
actually, I kind of like this. So
You're like,
Well,
oh,
it's like when I started using the
There you
bomb
go.
lance, and I actually started getting kills with it and getting sticks and tags. It just
Yeah.
the way that gun feels compared to most other shotguns feels a lot better than even Terminus. I like the slate in its own regard, but
Yeah.
dude, the Spectre just has a completely different feel for me.
Yeah.
see, I'm the
Yeah, I
same
don't blame
boat
you.
as you, Aaron, because I prefer the Spectre over the Slate. I do not like the Slate, but having said that, I understand why people like the Slate more.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
put probably mine at probably the Caldwell Rifle. I've got some dirty kills with that thing.
That's a
Nice.
dirty gun.
Gosh, yeah.
Nice and compact. The hand version, actually, the medium
The hand
slot,
cannon.
Yeah,
Oof.
the
it
hand
is
cannon.
a monster, and it's
Yeah.
definitely slept on, just like
Yeah.
the Spectre compact.
I was using that for a good while too.
You
I
set
would
with
say-
a
awesome.
flechette and it will shred people.
Yep.
It's definitely it's the preferred of the cheap ones from everybody's
Definitely.
playstyle that I've seen, and for
Mhm.
good reason. Like you any gun that you see most of these hunters running, you should take notes because there's a reason, man. And the Rival is it's if you can aim it right, if you get within range,
It's solid.
it's a Romero ×2, quite
Yep.
literally.
Yeah.
But if you don't necessarily want to do a Rifle, Romero has a ton of key options, especially with melee, like the
hatchet.
the
Oh, I
hatchet,
love that
and
gun.
then what's the big one called?
The Talon.
The Talon. The Talon, I have literally shredded people sometimes.
Oh,
And
gosh.
that's the one thing I do like about the Romero versus like the Rival is those melee options that they also
Yeah.
provide.
No, that's a great point that you've made.
Mhm.
Because it's not all just about the guns.
Yep,
And that's
melee
why I
kills.
like the riposte.
Exactly.
There you go. Up
Exactly.
close and personal. Melee
Times
kills are
2.
some of the
Times
juiciest
2,
things you can get.
Yeah.
Tyler, did you say your favorite gun?
Yeah, Officer Brawler.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well, no. When did you say that? Because I don't remember.
He
That.
was
He
one
was
of
the
the
first
first
one.
ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think
Awesome.
you may have stepped away for a second. So
I may have, yeah. Well, when you've got kids, man.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's
There you
I
go.
mean, how dare you?
Honestly,
How
yeah.
dare you?
Seriously.
How dare you care for children? Oh my gosh.
Hunt 24/7, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who needs a life?
Who
Yep.
needs a life? Hunt is life.
So has everybody said their favorite guns then, or are we
I
missing
think we
anyone?
got through everyone.
I
Yeah.
think
We got
I think-
the Pax, we got the Nagon Officer Brawler, I heard the Slate, and the Spectre Compact, and then I went with the Caldwell
Rifle. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What's the worst gun in the game? Just like unanimously.
them. No.
Yeah,
All
they
of
all
them.
suck.
Every single gun.
Honestly,
Unanimously?
I gotta
unless
think.
you're literally a headshot king, the Bornheim is going to make a lot of people upset.
I hate that gun
Yeah.
actually. I know you, DJ, and Aaron.
I
You
love
guys
it.
love that thing. You guys
I
are
like
gods
I
at that.
I love it. I
I mean-
fucking love it.
It's a fun gun.
If we're talking
Yeah.
generally, because everybody's going to go for the shot that lands, the Bornheim is arguably the worst, and that's sad because it has high velo too, high velocity
Yeah.
rounds.
That's the
Yeah.
only time I think it's decent is when I have high velo rounds, but it's like the last thing you unlock for a good reason. So.
'Cause
I
it's
mean,
so
fire
slow.
rounds too. It's got 2 dirty rounds on it. It's kind of
Oh well, especially with the new fire buff, which is
yeah.
another thing they added into this event
Event
/
and
patch.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in the old
great.
in
Love
the
it.
old patches, it was the only gun that could realistically burn you before you died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
true.
when the challenges had you burn
The
people.
challenge.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to
Yep.
use Bornheims.
Yeah.
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 Anyways,
Disgusting.
Yeah. For me personally though, the new army is just I can't figure out how to use a fucking gun.
The velocity
life
is
of me.
so bad. It's
It's bad, but it's good at close range. So
Well, it's
in my
got
opinion.
niche. It's just if unless you love bullet leading, man, that gun is frustrating. And not everybody's holding still.
Well, you better not be.
Which is why I like the Bornheim over it.
Yeah,
it's literally
That's fair.
150 meter per second difference, dude. It is disgusting.
it is.
For a pistol, that's crazy. Because I think the new
Yeah.
army is, what is it, at 230, 250?
It's at 230.
Yeah, so for a pistol, that's pretty dang quick.
Seriously. But I think we'll probably wrap up this episode here because we're going to kind of get some feedback. We want all the feedback from everyone. Tell us what you enjoyed about the podcast. Tell us what you'd like to hear more of. And tell us why Colin needs to talk more, because I think I heard him talk a total of 3 times throughout the whole podcast.
It's because his voice is too glorious. His voice is too pure to be heard. So
I'm just gathering information. I'm trying to get the vibe.
no, you're good. You're
totally fine. Honestly. No, I'm more or less just calling you out, man. But
no, yeah, I know. I get you.
we are planning on doing this unless information gets rapid, unless there's like we have to record this week because something dropped. We're going to keep this bi-weekly, maybe even monthly, depending on if we run out of ideas, because you don't want to hear us talk about our lives for an hour, do you? Unless you do. Hi.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Well, we'll keep it here.
Let me know if you want to hear about my fiance.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, Colin. He is engaged, and he is going to be a slave to marriage soon. You know, like a lot of
yeah,
you.
he's going.
Hell yeah.
He's going to be my part of my family because he is marrying my wife's sister. So it's kind of funny.
Nice. That's what you gotta go to, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just gotta get them below the belt, you know.
Yeah.
Give it to 'em.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! All right.
We'll keep it here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll post in another 2 weeks, and until then, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Stay hunting.
Stay hunting.
Stay
Say
hunting.
bye.
Stay hunting.
Bye bye.
Aaron, talk.